And some encouraging news when it comes to the economy's job numbers. October's employment numbers are out, and the government says more private sector jobs were created last month than expected. CBS News senior business correspondent Anthony Mason reports.
American businesses made an unexpectedly strong showing in October, adding 159,000 jobs.
That means that since January, the private sector has added 1.1 million jobs.
It was the 10th straight month companies had added to their payrolls.
The very good news is that the much-feared double-dip recession is not going to happen.
In Connecticut, at the U.S. headquarters of Lego,
you're actually hiring.
We are hiring right now, yes.
The toy maker is building up its workforce by 10%, adding 40 jobs.
Everything from marketing to sales to IT to customer service.
Was there any hesitation at all about hiring, given where the economy's been?
We've actually been stretching our workforce for the last 3 years, and we're at a point where we can't do that anymore, so we have to bring more people in.
It was companies like Lego that helped American business have its second biggest hiring month in more than 3 years. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
While the job numbers were good, they weren't good enough to beat the budget of unemployment and move it down from 9.6%. And with a new Congress in control, is there any plan Democrats and Republicans can agree upon to put more Americans to work? Joining us now is Michael Santori, associate editor at Barrons. Great to have you with us, Michael. And I think the question here is, so we did add 151,000 new jobs, but can you say at this point that we've turned a corner? It sounds from Anthony Mason's piece like we have.
Well, we've definitely turned a corner in terms of the private sector hiring trend. I would call it a slowly strengthening jobs market. It's definitely not enough really to recover much of the jobs lost back in the financial crisis and the recession, but certainly the trend is positive at this point.
8.5 million jobs lost throughout the recession, exactly. 15 million people unemployed by these numbers. At what point do we say, okay, we're going to really take those jobs back?
It's hard to say at this point. The encouraging thing are the leading indicators of job growth. The work week was lengthening last month. That shows that employers have to keep people on longer shifts. Pay was up. Temporary hiring was positive again. And that usually means big companies, which are very financially strong right now, as a matter of fact, should be starting to do permanent hiring before too long.
The companies that are hiring right now, from education to health services, the temporary workers you mentioned, are those the same services, and retailers among them as well, are those the same types of industries that we're going to see strong going forward? Or do we need to see a new emergence of a new industry strength?
It's always difficult to call this one, but I do think education and healthcare, because they really track demographics, been in long-term growth mode without a doubt. Retail was a winner in this past month. I think that's a seasonal effect. Retailers are pulling forward their hiring. I do think that manufacturing, by the way, even though we had a small loss last month, has been a leader in job growth. People don't really recognize that. The auto companies didn't really lay people off as much this past summer as people usually expect.
What kind of consensus are we going to get out of government now with basically a Congress, a new Congress, a changed Congress? Is there a chance that Democrats and Republicans can come together on this issue and find a solution?
Well, I don't know that there's a magic formula, even if they could actually agree on something. I do think you're going to see the debate surrounding extension, perhaps, of some of the Bush tax cuts, which is going to be one of these reckoning points the new Congress has to deal with out there. And there's probably going to be an effort among the Republicans to try to roll back some business regulations and maybe some additional bureaucracy that they're complaining about right now. To me, those are not the decisive factors of why job growth has been weak. It's that the economy has been in a slow recovery mode. Businesses haven't seen the demand that requires them just yet to hire a lot of folks.
Michael Santori, thank you for being with us this morning.